Hello and welcome to my show Food Roots. This is a unique show, the first of its kind ever done. It traces the history of Indian immigrants to Singapore and the history of their food as well. Indians have been coming to Singapore ever since time immemorial, but for purposes of this story that I'm going to tell you, this wonderful journey I'm going to take you on, we'll start from the time they actually started migrating here in larger numbers. That's from the turn of the 20th century up to the present times. Why? What were Indians doing here? Why did they come here? Who are these Indians? Were they like you and me? Most of us have been here only about 10, 15, 20 years. But do we realize Singapore holds much historical stories that have never been told? And this is one of those stories because Indians have been here for far longer than you and I think. Many have been here for 5 to 6 generations. And what a wealth of stories they can tell you, especially food stories, how they ate, what they ate, because nothing tells you more about a person's place in life, his loves, his fortunes, as the way they ate. Now the first stop, the first food haven I'm taking you on this wonderful, delicious journey with me is called Ananda Bhavan. The Ananda Bhavan restaurant is truly an institution, probably because it's the oldest standing Indian restaurant in Singapore. And talking about Indian restaurant, that's synonymous with Indian vegetarian restaurant because most Indians who came in the early part of the 20th century were people from Tamil Nadu, or what was known then as the Madras Presidency. In fact, it's interesting to note, as I was told by a certain Mr. Narayanan, probably one of the oldest Tamilians living today in Singapore, that all the Indian restaurants in the early 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s were run by Palghat Iyers. Ananda Bhavan started in 1924, or so the newspapers and many others tell us. Of course, there's a bit of controversy, as there always is on anything historical. Some say it couldn't have started as early as 1924. Some say it was in the early 30s. But how does it matter? So here we are at this restaurant. Let's take you for a tour of some of the dishes, how they're made, and let's talk to some of the cooks, some of whom, like their pastry chef or the dessert master, has been here with them for 24 years. I'm now with Mohan in the kitchen and he's going to show me how to make a dosa, or thosai as they say in Singapore. The dosa is one of the most ancient crepes or pancakes known in the world, and it was mentioned in Sanskrit classics in Tamil Nadu in 1051 by the Western Chalukya king Someshwara. So you first take out the batter like you did.
Take the 1 cup.
Yes.
1 cup the flour.
And then you roll it round here.
Yeah.
And you put some ghee.
Yeah, put some ghee, some dosa, put oil.
Oil also.
Yeah.
Dosas are a very healthy food. They're very common as breakfast and street food in India, and they're getting very common in Singapore and Malaysia as well. And they're very healthy because they are rich in carbohydrates and no gluten at all, and because of the fermentation process they have a lot of vitamins B and C. So you can always stay healthy, slim, and eat dosa as well. Now Mohan's going to teach me how to make a dosa.
Okay.
Alright, so what do I do, Mohan? Shall I pick it up myself?
You take 1 cup the dosa flour.
Can I pick it up?
Yes.
Ew.
Put here.
Pour it.
Yeah.
Now turn it around.
Put the center. What?
Everything.
Yeah.
And?
Finger. Everything 5
Oh,
fingers.
5 fingers.
Yeah.
Here I go.
Down to the top.
Wow, it's such fun.
Yeah.
It's like Play-Doh. Oh, I'm sorry, I shouldn't do that too much.
Okay, no problem.
Now what?
Next one.
Put it back.
Another.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, put one more.
One more.
Yeah,
Second
five
try.
finger. Then you go take a 5 finger.
5 finger. 5 fingers around the cup. Put all on the tawa. This is plain dosa.
Yeah.
And then go round fast.
Yes.
See, better second time round.
Yeah.
Oh, this is really tough. Oh gosh. Can I try a third time? Oh, here we go. Third time lucky. Press it down hard. Done. I think Mohan's being very patient with me. Wow. I'm so proud of myself. See? Idiot's Guide to Dosa. I love dosa for breakfast. I have it at least once a week. And I like it masala. I like all the fillings.
What masala?
What masala? Yes. What masala? This is the
Yeah.
non-spicy. What I like about masala dosa and pure Tamil Udupi food is that they're not chili hot and they're not soaked in oil and spices. They're just lightly spiced and delicious. How do I do that triangle?
You fold this one. You take this one. Masala dosa folding this type.
This type.
Come, cut.
Okay, let me try the other side.
This one. Fold.
Oh wow.
No. This one fold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a star.
Yeah. Half star.
Half star.
Yeah.
So I'm a half star now. Half a star cook. In a 3-star Michelin restaurant. I know it's not perfect, but would you like to eat this? No? Okay, I'll have it then. My sour dosa. All right now, I'm waiting for my delicious lunch. I've ordered a paper butter masala dosa. I can't tell you how much respect I have for those cooks inside there after spending a couple of hours there trying to learn how to make dosa. Phew, it's really hard work and I think I deserve it. Ah, there's my lunch. Thank you so much. Please come and sit with me. This is the paper butter masala dosa I was telling you. It's crisp, delicious and absolutely appetizing and hard to make. I'm sure even the French chefs can't make a crepe this delicious and this artistic. It's really a work of art, you know. How do I say it's delicious in Tamil?
ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கு.
Umbal nalla irukki.
ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கு.
Romba nalla irukki.
இருக்கு.
Okay, in Hindi we say kya mazadar. Say mazadar.
Same as dog.
You say mazadar. Mazadar.
Mustard dal.
It's not mustard dal. It's mazadar.
Mustard.
Just stick to umbal nalla rakke.
ரொம்ப நல்லா இருக்கு.
Wonderful. Do you want some? Tough luck, you're not getting any. You didn't want mine earlier inside there. I'm going to have it all. Okay, now here goes. This is the lovely crepe I've broken up. The masala is the spiced vegetable mixture. When I say spiced, don't mistake spice just for chilies, because Tamil vegetarian cuisine is actually not filled with hot chilies and spices and oil. And now when I pick up a piece of the crepe, I pick up some of this wonderful masala. I dip it into this coconut chutney, which is gorgeous by itself. You can have the crepe alone with the coconut chutney. Yummy. How do you say yummy?
Okay.
How do you say yummy? Delicious.
ரொம்ப சுவையா இருக்கு. சுவை.
Sube.
Hey.
Sube.
ரொம்ப சுவையா இருக்கு.
Umbe suere. That was easier. Why didn't you tell me that earlier? Umbe sue. Food of the gods.
Before the First World War, 1914 to 18, the immigration from India would have been limited because there was the bar of Kalapani. Anybody who left in the shores of India would have been excommunicated. This is especially so in the case of the higher classes. In a sense, my father was a pioneer. He left India in 1911 when he was 17 years old to come to Singapore. It was not an easy decision given the social stigma at that time. Anyway, from what he told me, he paid 19 rupees for a passage from Nagapattinam to, I think must have been Penang. Most of the people got off at Penang because to come down to Singapore would have taken another two days, and there would have been 3 days of quarantine in Singapore. In the early days, since the early immigrants were either in the military or perhaps only convicts with a bare number of other commercial-minded people, it would have been mainly self-cooking. Some entrepreneur would have started a sort of small kitchen, mainly to provide food for the others and also to make something for himself. It has been mentioned in the press quite often that the first Indian vegetarian restaurant, South Indian vegetarian restaurant, was started in 1924. I have serious doubts on this matter because the only connecting proof to that evidence seems to be that Anandam Bhavan, which is named as that, as the forerunner, is located in a building, Ellison building, which has got the Star of David above with the date 1924.
Wasn't that a lovely visit to Ananda Bhavan restaurant? And I really enjoyed making those dosas, even though the camera didn't like them. And we were so lucky to meet Mr. Narayanan, weren't we? What a fount of knowledge he is. I guess that's about it from me for this episode. Stay tuned, stay with me on this journey of ours, and do write in and tell me what you think all about your food comments, your food likes and dislikes, your foibles and fears. After all, one man's poison is another man's food, isn't it? Back to my